Hey, hello everyone. Welcome again to GMTV 42 Kisumu. Your host Paul OTIENO OLECHE. Today we are so happy to have our guest here and we have a very nice topic to discuss about. And before we start, always we have to pray. And let's bow and we pray. Father, we thank you once again. We bless your name because you are good. Thank you so much for our time. We thank you for the Juliet, oh my Father, for the journey, for everything you have done to her, my Father. We thank you because of GMTV 42, and we thank you, Lord, for everyone who is watching, my Father. We thank you, and may you bless them. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Today we have a guest, and before I say the topic, let me welcome our guest today. And Juliet, welcome to GMTV 42, Kisumu.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh, we can start by your name before we introduce the topic.
Yeah. Yes. My name is JULIET OTIENO. I'm a counselor, I'm a mentor, and I'm a social worker. Yes.
Are you married?
Not yet.
So everyone, today we are talking about sexual reproductive health. Please welcome Juliet. Tell me about this. The topic is so nice. Thank you so much for choosing this. And I hope you have even shared with your friends that today you are here to talk more about this and teach us about these topics. Yes.
Sexual and reproductive health, right, is all about being in a with a stable mind that you can easily make decisions on how you want to have sex, and normally it's always about safe sex. Yes.
Oh, what do you mean by this safe sex?
This is not engaging in risky sexual activities. This is where use of condoms come in. Yes.
And what age should be knowing these things about sex? From what age?
According to me, I think the right age that as parents we should engage our children in the sex talks is from the age of 6 years, because you find that these children, they play, they go to school, and they get wrong information from their peers. So as parents, we should be the first people to talk to our children about sex from the age of 6.
From the age of 6. Wow. Our viewer, what age should we talk to about sex? And Juliet today is telling us about 6 years old because they are in school, they have friends. And now, how will you start talking to a girl or a boy who is 6 years old about sex, Juliet?
You know, it's better if us as parents be the first people to talk to our children, because you will find, like the other time I watched a video somebody sent to me on my WhatsApp, and I was so shocked. It was about I think it was incest, because it seems like these kids were brothers and sisters. They were having sex in their bedroom, and looking at their age, they were around 4 years, 3 years, and it's like they were imitating things that they have seen somewhere. So as parents, it's better if this comes from us. There's always, your children very well. There's always a way that you can switch on your children, and there's a way that you can start talking to them, because children are different. There are those that are so cunning, there are those that are open, and now you as a parent, knowing your children very well, it is even more easier for a parent to engage their kids. Yeah.
So viewers, there was a video going viral about this lady. I think she was 11 years or 10 years old, and there's a boy on bed, again around 6 years, just the way you put it, and there's another boy on the back of this little girl. So there were 3 on their bed, and these people were living together, meaning there's something they have known about sex. So that's why Juliet is telling us, from 6 years, please talk to your child. And now, will this not give the child the idea of sex early?
It is even better, because when you talk to your children about sex, it is not all about the acts that you will tell your children. You'll talk about the risks. You'll talk about, like, in the 21st century, I find it so difficult when I want to talk to a girl or a boy about sex and I don't tell them everything that it entails. That is creating risks for them. So when I talk to them about sex, I need to talk to them about the risks. I need to talk to them about what they should do when it has to happen. Of course, we'll not tell our children that they have to do sex. But these kids, they will do it behind our backs. We may end a job, and on coming back, maybe something happened, like now the video that leaked. The parents weren't there, So it is good if you tell them the risks and how it should be done. Because if you don't tell them, you only tell them the risks, they will do it. But now, you didn't tell them on how or what they should do about it.
On that video, we saw the young lady and the young girl just trying to set the camera, and she put the camera in a way that can capture the act. Do you think there's something this girl has learned about the phone?
Yes, most of these things they get from social media. And again, I'd blame the parents, because there are some parents that would do things not knowing that their kids are old enough, watching their steps. So you'd find parents, they'll be doing these things with their children around, because it's always advised when you guys you want to have sex in your home, you make sure your kids are not around, or maybe you engage them in something. But there are parents who'd assume that my girl is still so young, she doesn't understand. My boy is still so young, he doesn't understand these things. Then you get yourself into the act. They watch you people, they see how you do it, and tomorrow you'll find them practicing the same thing. Okay. So in a way, I'd also blame the parents. I'd also blame the society, and I'll also blame the social media. Okay. That is why when a kid is so young, I don't think if it's wise for us parents to start giving our children phone, exposing them to phones, exposing them to data and all that.
On that point, there are parents who at the age of 9, a child already has got a Facebook page. And parents, we are being told, cheza kama wewe. Please, when you want to, the romance in the house, please cheza kama nyinyi. Let's not expose everything to these kids. And what age should a child separate from the bedroom of their parents?
Well, for a child to start, getting used to sleeping alone, I think from birth. Maybe not from the bedroom, but from birth, a baby can have a baby cot where he or she should start getting used to sleeping alone. Because if you sleep with them on the same bed, and as a mother, you'll always feel like your child is still so young, let me just sleep with him. And at the age of 1, this baby, he started seeing whatever is happening, and a small baby can really embarrass you. Yes. So it's to me, a baby should start getting used to sleeping alone from birth.
Wow, parents, these babies we have today are digital. They are not like us. At the age of 1, they can see what we're doing at 1. And then let's God forgive us, because parents, we have not played our part well. And even not from the age of 1, at the age of 3 or 4, please separate the child from the bedroom, because you will not control everything.
Yes.
And now, do you have the organizations that can support in this topic, those who can tell the children about this from school, from the community? Do you have such people?
Yes. I used to work with the KMET some times back, and they could support girls. They had safe spaces. This is where they have girls, and they talk to them about everything that affects them in life. Also, another organization is NIGE. I think it's in Kibos, I think. So they moved to there. They also they also have these supporting programs for girls, for donating pads. And before they give you pads, they engage you in some serious talks. Yes.
On that point of the using sanitary towel, what tech can you tell the young ladies? How can they keep themselves clean? Because you find maybe you are in during my time we were in class 6, and that time and a girl was in her period, and that time there was no donation of the sanitary towel, and maybe they could not manage, and it was just embarrassment in class. People start laughing until the female teacher who was in our class at that time helped the child with the lesson. So at what point should they know how to keep themselves clean?
Well, periods, our bodies are different. You might find that a lady would start experiences her menses at the age of 6, others 10, others even at 18 years. So I wouldn't say that there's an age that a lady should, know about those things. But in schools, they normally have the talks, the guidance and counseling classes, and okay, it is not shaming. It is not a sin to experience menses. But when it starts, you should accept yourself the way it comes. Because you wouldn't know. The first time you wouldn't know, inaweza kukushtua anytime. But when it starts, now this is where parents also comes in. You sit your daughter down, you tell her, mom, it is this and this. Menses is not a sin. It's like a call of nature, So you sit them down. You show them how it's done, how we put pads on the panties, how long it's supposed to be changed, how often they are supposed to shower and all that.
So it's a role of a parent to start early.
Okay. Yeah. Even teachers in schools, they have the guidance the guidance and counseling clubs. They do these things because then in schools you'll find that there are class 8s in the same club, there are class 4s in the same club. Now this is where the shaming starts coming in. Class 4 will see like, what am I doing in a club that only class 8s are? Now it's always upon the teachers to also bring in the young ones, the young girls, if they have to talk about such a thing. They have to bring in the young girls and tell them that, if hata kama haujaanza, there comes a point that you'll have to. So attending these clubs has its own importance, and they have to tell them the importance it comes with. Okay. Yes.
So please attend the counseling classes, attend the counseling clubs in your schools. We have them in primary, we have them in high school, and even in university or college. Because when some people are in college and they're still messing up. Okay. And who should be talking about this? A mother or all parents?
Now, this is a responsibility for both parents. It's not supposed to be a mother. Of course, there are things that as a daughter, I can't talk to my dad about. I'll definitely run to my mom. But there are things like menses. If now, let's say the mother is not around and the baby, you are seeing your daughter having such kind of things, will you keep quiet? Definitely not. You'll have to. This is why in schools you'll find that they will involve both gender in these things, because you'll find that our firstborn is a boy, is a male, and such a thing happens to my small sister and I'm not around. He'll definitely take up the responsibility, and even in future he will one day become a father. And he will maybe be blessed with daughters also and sons. He'll have to start taking up his responsibility as a father. Okay. Yes.
Even if we learned about the girl child, there are these boys at the age of adolescence, maybe somebody can interfere with their reproductive organs. And what about the boys now? What lesson can they be taught about this?
To boys, they should always accept girls the way they are. These boys, most of the time they laugh at girls when maybe they are starting to develop breasts, and maybe when they've started their menses and they've seen the girls messing up themselves. They should take this as a call of nature. The girl didn't know that it's supposed to be this way, or it was supposed to come up today. And when it comes, I think a mature boy or a mature man should always cover up also, instead of calling other people to laugh at the girl. So they should also take up responsibility.
And do you think that we have a space that can increase this, how can I put it, like when we want to say that now the girl she's in the age that she can have a boyfriend, Do you have that space that allow them to mingle, and that one can be risky to the girl child?
To mingle in primary schools?
Yes, in primary school.
I don't really support boyfriend-girlfriend relationships in primary schools. That is not even a good age of starting to date, because this is where you'll find a lot of things happening. They want to explore their minds. They want to do things that are new. They want to also feel how it feels, and this is where you find messes everywhere. So I wouldn't advise, or I wouldn't campaign for the boy-girl relationship in primary schools.
Because I've asked you that because we find nowadays that a child is in primary, and already the parent or the mother has introduced the child to the family planning. And now, what age should be a proper age to start using family planning, if it should be used?
Even if I'll say that I don't support the boy-girl relationship in primary schools, it still happens. And as a parent, immediately you realize that your girl is sexually active, you'll definitely have to take them, because in this 21st century, there's no way you'll sit down a youth and you'll tell a youth to abstain. That is nonsense. It doesn't work.
You mean these guys cannot abstain? Oh, please abstain. The Bible say sex out of marriage is sin. This is a sin. Why should a girl or a boy engage in sex without marriage?
Well, that is the biblical way. But not everybody would go to that direction, because that will be like a risk to when we start sitting down our girls and telling them. Of course, there are some that will take heed to that, but not everyone. But now, what are the precautions that you're supposed to take? We definitely will talk to them about the Bible thing. The Bible, the scriptures will quote to them. But now, not everyone will do this. Now we have to take precautions also. For them that will not do this, what are we supposed to do? When a lady has already started being sexually active, you've started seeing some signs of, my girl is this and this, then that is a good age for the family planning, if you don't want your girl to mess up.
Again, Juliet, on that family planning issue, I think we have effects, negative effects and positive effects. Will these negative effects affect this child at this early age when she starts using this family planning?
Yeah, now where the problem comes in with parents is that they will take their kids for the family planning methods, but they forget that there comes some other diseases that can be found with unprotected sex. When you go for the family planning, the only thing you're protecting there is pregnancy. Okay. But now this girl goes ahead, get involved in the sexual activities. They don't have protection, and at the end of the day, she gets infected with HIV. She gets STIs and other diseases. Now, that is another thing. You'll have to treat this. You start treating up these things, these diseases.
No, that's a positive side of using family planning. It will protect you from pregnancy alone, but other diseases like STI, HIV, the child will still have it when the sex is not safe. And now, what are the negative about family planning?
Family planning, too much use of family planning also gets accompanied by infertility. If you use a lot of it, at some point you will have blockages. Now it's used to that place until you can't get you are not fertile anymore. Another thing, there are ladies who experience heavy bleeding, and when you experience heavy bleeding, there are some people who complain of headaches when they are having the heavy flows. Some also start, their body changes. Some, if you are just okay, you find that you'll start thinning up. There are some who will also fatten just from nowhere. Somebody is poof, Yeah. So family planning also has its own effect. Now, if you ask me, go for the, condom is also a way of, it's also a method of family planning. So if you ask me, I'll always go or campaign for condom use, because condom, in as much as it is 99.9% safer, it protects you from getting pregnancy. That is if it's well placed or well used. It also protects you from the STIs and the HIV stuff. So, but with our youth, the other day somebody was telling me in a certain group that, Juliet, condom is not sweet. And I was like, now, this is a 12-year-old girl starting to tell me
12 years old.
12 years old. Condom is not sweet. Now, this is a girl that has already been involved in sex, not once, not twice, and maybe she's also tried this condom thing and she knows it's not sweet. Yeah.
Oh, okay. On that your point of a 12-year-old girl, and with the experience the girl is talking about, this a mature girl now. Okay.
Yeah, so this girl, I tried convincing her. Actually, I thank God I managed. Sex is in the mind. When you can't have sex when you aren't ready, you can't have sex when you're not prepared. It's in the mind. Now, once you put your mind that you want to have sex, whichever thing you use, whether it's unprotected or whether it's by the use of a condom, sex is sex. Yeah. So I tried convincing her, and we came into terms together. Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, that's good. Now, parents, this is a serious topic today. We have seen the effects of family planning. Imagine your girl in class 6 bleeding. Imagine your girl in class 4 pregnant. Imagine your girl in class 5 know what sex is. And Juliet has just stated well that sex is in your mind. Please talk to the mind of your child. Just tell your child what the mind should contain at this age, because the government are talking about 18 years, you're mature, and now people up to 12 years, because a 12-year-old girl already knows that sex with the condom is not sweet, meaning this girl has been doing this thing. We'll be back. Just be ready for more questions, and I hope you are learning. Pastor Masai will be back. God bless you.
Tuning to GMTV station 42.
Oh, wow. Welcome back. I can say, Teacher Masai, thank you so much. Please, your comment. We need your comment. And I can say, Wodobonyo, thank you so much. And my brother from another mother, Dakuja Kuguta, thank you so much. Welcome. My wife, Anna, Yeko, God bless you. We can see, GMTV 42, we are doing good. Please, we need your comment on our topics. We need you to engage us on these topics. Please tell us more. We want to educate our community. Be ready for everything. We need you to comment. As you watch, you view, you comment, give us a note there. How the show was and how you want it to be, and we are ready to do whatever you are asking us to do. We are having Juliet still, and Juliet is really a strong woman. Juliet is a motivator. If you need somebody who can motivate you, please look for Juliet. And if you need a counselor in your house, because nowadays people are there, they don't know what to do. We have the kids, there are so many in your house. You don't have the teachers to counsel them because they are in holiday. Yeah, now they are in holiday. Juliet is ready to help you. Thank you. Juliet, now about this, abortion will come in pregnancy. What's your take about the abortion? I can see even the bill is there in the Senate. The senator from Nakuru, Madam Susan, she's trying to bring a bill in the Senate now so that the abortion, they are talking about the safe abortion. And now I want to ask, is there safe abortion and abortion that is not safe?
I don't think so. Abortion is abortion. There's nothing like, to me, there's nothing like safe abortion. There's nothing like toxic abortion. Abortion is abortion. Mm.
And abortion is abortion. My friend, tell your child abortion is a crime. You are killing. You know, although I saw a video in the platform, Facebook, where the kids were thrown in the dustbin. 2 kids, very, very looking handsome. I don't know if they were girls or they were boys, but the kids were thrown in the dustbin. We have a case that the kids were thrown in the toilet, latrine. Please, what can you tell our young ladies and our young girls?
I don't see a reason why somebody would carry a pregnancy to term, then later throw away a child. If you know very well that you're not able to take care of the child, then you have to keep yourself safe from getting pregnant. And we've talked about a number of ways of protecting pregnancy, and I'd still advocate and campaign for the use of condoms. So if you know very well that you're not ready to father a child or mother a child, then you should involve in safe sex if you have to.
Okay. And if you can carry the pregnancy for 9 months, please, you can give to somebody. You can take to an orphanage, because people need children, okay?
Yeah, people need children. You'll get that there's a family that maybe they're married for 20 years and they're not capable of, having a child. And you there, God is blessing you with at least 1 or 2, then you throw them away. Now, what if somebody, one day you'll get, before I talk about that, many ladies get frustrated when they're pregnant. Reason being, they too much depend on their partners, maybe their boyfriends, and later on when they disclose to their boyfriends that they are pregnant, you'll find that these men, they will start running away. And as a lady, she will be like, I'm a student, or maybe I don't have a job. Now, what am I going to do with this pregnancy? What am I going to do after, carrying this baby to terms? I am not able to, cater for the needs of the child. Now, frustrations lead to such kind of things, and maybe some other time we'll talk about mental health. Now it comes in, but when as a lady, God has blessed you with a child. It doesn't matter where the father is around or not. God has a reason as to why he gifted you that child. If he really didn't want you to have that child, he wouldn't have given you. So there's no now we are going biblical, we are going spiritual. I'm born again, by the way. So most of these people, they say mtoto hukuja na sahani yake, and it only takes a strong woman, it takes grace, enough sufficient grace for you to raise up a child. Raising up a child is not easy, whether the father is there or whether a mother it's only mother that is involved. Raising a child is not easy. God will not always give you a burden that you can't carry. He will always give you, or maybe give you a test that he knows very well. Of course, you're going to go through a tough time, but at the end of it, you're going to become a winner. So God is not just a God the way we know is a God. He's a God that is full of wisdom. He's a God that he's the way maker. Yes. He will always make a way for everything. So when you get pregnant, just carry your child to terms. Abortion, I don't advocate for that.
Yes. We are telling you that we serve a super powerful God, way maker. This is a man who will give you whatever you need in your life. What you need to do is just play your part well. Even don't force God, because you are going for sex, your age, you are not married, you cannot carry the responsibility. Then you want to blame God, you want to blame your parents, you want to blame your boyfriend. Stop. Be safe. And Juliet, mental health comes in because people are stressed. Some people are stressed, they don't have to talk about this with. What can you, on your take on your mental health, what can you say about that?
When you're depressed, or maybe when you're getting yourself frustrated and you're stressed up that you can't anymore, at least get somebody to talk to. So when you want somebody to talk to, I'm always here. I'm always a very confidential person. We will talk about these things. I will, tell you what to do. I will help in one way or the other, because myself also, I've gone through a lot and I've overcome some of them. So it is always advised that instead of committing suicide or instead of losing yourself in depression, just look for somebody to talk to. Yes.
Yeah, when you are looking somebody, Juliet is ready. We are ready. GMTV42. We are ready. Just put a comment there. Tell us who you are, what you want to share. Even inbox us, my friend, so that you can have somebody to talk about. And now we have street kids. I think early pregnancy is also leading to this, street kids and the poverty on it. What is your take now?
These street kids, there comes a condition that forces them to go out to the streets. These one is poverty, two is maybe the kids are orphans and there's nobody to take care of them. Three is just the negligence, or let me just use the harshness of the parents. A parent will feel like my girl has messed up, and we want the community image. She has maybe done this and that, and they tend to force their girls into early marriages, and a lady would be like, no, I'm not in for marriage so easy, so let me just go outside there and fend for myself. Now, in the process of going outside there, she'll find that now it is not easy as I thought, and I can't go back home because my parents will force me into that marriage that I didn't want. So let me just be in the streets. Let me just do what I have to do. And in the process, they lose themselves into that. Yes.
On that early marriage, you have reminded of something. Some people are forced for this marriage because the parents want to protect their image. They want this a daughter of a bishop, a daughter of doctor, a daughter of MCA, MP, pregnant at 15. They want to engage in early marriage. And now what's the effect of early marriage? Also, it will affect so many people. On your take on that?
Well, the effect of early marriages is, when a lady is not yet ripe for marriage, or rather, she's not ready for marriage, or a man is not ready to take in as a lady as a wife, there comes a time that this marriage will not work for them. And you'll find that they will separate. And imagine your girl being in a marriage today. Next year, she's in another marriage because the other one couldn't work, just because you couldn't contain, or rather, just because you couldn't forgive and take in, that is your granddaughter or maybe your grandchild. Now, if you don't take care of them, forgive your daughters, you'll be like a part of their mess in life. Because if I'm not ready for marriage, my mom can't force me into getting married when I'm not ready, because at the end of it, I'm not ready to take up responsibilities as a wife. I'm not ready to always be cooking for this man. I'm not ready to always be, performing or rather giving this man his conjugal rights every night. I'm not ready to do this. I'm not ready to commit. I'm not ready to do this. Now, you find that there comes a time that this man will also be like, I can't take this anymore. And you find that one becomes a divorcee, and maybe takes up somebody. Or another thing, you find that you force me into marriage, then later on I come and find myself that I'm not fit for this. There's another man somewhere that I want. I'm inside here, but I'm also seeing another man out there. These things will also lead to other diseases also. I'll carry HIV to the house. I'll carry the STIs to the house, just because my parents couldn't contain me, rather couldn't forgive me of the acts that I did.
Yes. And even the body will still not be ready to carry the child. And again, the violence in the house. The other people are being beaten in the house because the man sees that you are nothing. And even in the violent point, the majority, the percentage, they are the housewives. I think that's okay.
Yeah, now, another thing, when, us, like the youth, we tend to date. We are dating and you're so much in love that even when, you get a man, you love the man so much with all your mind, your body, and everything in you. Then, anytime you have a misunderstanding, you'll find that the only measure that this guy will always be using, or rather defense, is beating you up. And ladies will be like, oh, let me just see it. He will change sometime. Someday he will change. When a man beats me, it means he loves me. My sister, that is stupidity. That is stupidity of the highest order. Once you find that, or once your boyfriend hits you, in a relationship, my friend, just run away from that relationship. Because imagine one slap, and this is one thing I normally tell people. The other time I made a video of it. One slap in a relationship will always lead to a million slaps in marriage. That is a guarantee that this guy, he can beat you up anytime he feels like.
You say one slap in a relationship is million slaps in your marriage.
Just run away from it. That is not a man for a man enough for you, because a man enough will always find ways of resolving issues and not using slaps and kicks to solve his own issues. That is a coward man.
Wait, are you coward? Are you beating your wife? Imagine if you are beating your wife, you are beating yourself, because your wife is your rape. Now the man beating a woman is a coward. Are you coward? Hey.
Yeah, just don't stay in that relationship. In as much as you will love, imagine loving somebody too much to an extent that you lose yourself. Tomorrow, he might choose something and hit you and you die. You know. Tomorrow, he might beat you up, you lose your leg, you lose your eye, you lose your what, just because you loved. That is stupidity. Love is sweet. Love should be enjoyed by both. Not that when something happens, now you instill pain in me. That is not love.
Love is patient, care, and love is kind. Why do you beat your love? Aye, Juliet. And because 2 months ago, there's a lady who was beaten thoroughly with the husband. Very beautiful lady, beaten by the husband. And the lady is still with the husband. What is your take?
I don't know what that lady is still doing there. Maybe, these men also, they always tend to be so cunning. They have sweet words, especially, I know they say Luo men are these and these and these. You'll find that he will beat you up. Then he comes home with a bouquet of flowers. He starts calling you sweet names, oh, a baby, a mom, sijui a sweetie, sijui nini. Then you get yourself in it again. This man is taking advantage of that. He knows very well that tomorrow if I do the same thing, I will still bring flowers and this girl will forgive me. So I don't know what that lady is still doing in that marriage.
I think it's about love. Please, we are advising that don't look down upon your wife. I think the best thing here is to respect your marriage, because we don't expect the lady to have a divorce. But what we are trying to put in is that a man, please take care of your wife, love your wife, the first love. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm. And I'd also put it this way: a man that hits a woman is they're full of insecurities. They have their own insecurities. They fear, like maybe if you go out there, another man is seeing you. They started telling you, he found you putting on makeups. He found you putting on trousers. He found you doing maybe mini dresses and mini skirts. Now, when you enter the house, or rather when you become now a part of him, he starts telling you, you should leave this, you should leave this. Tomorrow, if he gets you on the same thing, he beats you up. That is insecurity.
You mean some men are so insecure and to a point that they don't want their wife to be smart?
Yeah, because they feel whatever I saw in this woman that attracted me to her can still, another man can still see it and get attracted to her. And maybe the other man is better than I am. So maybe the lady would definitely go.
And now see how the marriage is so much complicated. What if you engage in marriage at 10 years? Will you manage all this? Let's talk the children, my friends. Marriage is not for the jokers. Please. And again, we have something called bisexual. This act is in every street. What is your take, my friend? Can you advise these people about it?
In the Bible, I know, or rather I've read the Bible and I know very well that God gave Adam Eve. God didn't give Adam Sam. God didn't give Adam Amos. God gave man Eve. And so it is sin. In as much as people are really campaigning, other people are having programs, supporting the rights of the gays and supporting the rights of the lesbians, it is sin. It is sin, because how can you just engage in sexual activities with somebody of the same sex with you. It is seen, and it comes a lot with so many complications, because by the time a man is sleeping with another man and they are using the anus, that is another health complication. Yes. Your stool will, at one point, your anus will be so loose that at times in life, stool will start coming up without control. You can't control.
It has also to any place.
So it is not right. It is not right. And these things, they're also the factor that drives such things is poverty. A man will feel like at their home they are so poor. Rather, he loves somebody, but he can't take care of them. So most of these people, I hear that when I think there's an organization for gays here in Kisumu. It's behind.
Don't even go to where they are, but what you want to tell them, even your kids, because we have cases that underage are being engaged in the gay.
Yeah, so these organizations, they support the gays. You come in, you get partners over there, then at the end of the day, like, it's a job for them. At the end of the month, they pay you. You find that a 17-year-old boy is driving a Mercedes Benz, and you're like, what? This one should be in Form 3. What are they doing? Or rather, somebody who is 25 years, he's driving a 1.2 million car, and you're like, now where did they? And if you look at the job that they're doing, hakuna. So in these organizations, they're just doing jobs with them. Okay. Yeah.
Which means they connect them with other guys. Because it's a business. Imagine you're a 13-year-old boy. Because we get that we see the announcement, the child is missing. Yet the child was kidnapped with these people to involve in gay and even lesbianism, because also is the vice versa. And imagine when God was creating you as a man, God created you in his own image. And now when you are engaging in sex with another man, that's totally sin. We know it's your right. You are somebody who is having 18 years and above. Now you know that this is what I want, but it's not good for your health.
It is not good. Then another thing, parents should know the friends of their kids, because also friends can be they can be so misleading. Maybe I've had such a certain thing, then I come in and I tell you, so and so, I've heard of this thing. Can we try it out? And your parents, like my parents, she should know all the friends that I have. My mom, she's always so much in the spirit. She will tell you, this one, no. This one, no. Because as she prays for us. Now, this is where a parent also, in as much as you guide your kids, in as much as you talk to your kids, in as much as you want to know the kind of friends your kids hang out with, you should also pray with them. Because there are things you can't just do in the physical. Yes. There are things you can only win in the spiritual. Yes.
Imagine, that's so a good point. I see. What we are trying to tell you is that there are things you cannot tell your child through caning the child. There are things you cannot correct your child through abusing your child. What you need to do as a mother, pray. There's somebody who was an artist in Lowland here, Danger Chacha. He sang a song saying, a prayer of a mother save him. Do you pray for your children? Do you pray for your husband? Do you pray? A mother in your family, you have a part to play, like pray for the whole family. Also your kids, for their future, for their development, for their health. Aye, very wonderful.
And another thing, a man and a woman were made for procreation, yes, to make kids. Now, how are you going to make a kid with a fellow woman? How are you going to make a kid with a fellow man? That is nonsense.
Kama unataka mtoto utapataje? Man and a man, mama na mama, utapataje, my friend?
I know a lot of people are now going to start throwing stones at me because I'm, infringing their rights of being lesbians and gays. It is fine. That is your right. That is where sexual reproductive health is about, having your own rights, making your own decisions. But I am just here to tell you that whatever you are doing is wrong. I won't follow you up. If you think that it is right, then fine. But my job here is to make you know that it is sin. And you'll be answerable to God, to your creator.
One day, you will be called to be answerable to what you are doing on the earth. And again, what are the ways the girls can do to protect themselves from the infections?
Okay. Now this is now beautiful. I'd like to talk to both girls and boys on this, because many people are dating out there. They have girlfriends. Some people have sisters. Some has daughters. Now, let me concentrate so much on the girls, because this thing is so much affecting the girls than the boys. Because for the boys, they can always wear one boxer for a week and nothing happens. Now when it comes to the ladies, one way of rather, I'm going to talk about so many ways of like as ladies, the way we can keep ourselves so clean, away from infections. As a lady, I'm always supposed to, when I'm going to shower, I'm not supposed to use soap on my private part. If I'm going to shower, before even I wash my face, I'm supposed to use that plain water, without soap, without anything, the way it has come, I'm supposed to start, the place that I'm supposed to start washing first is the private part. Because, I'm sorry for this, but in this topic, I always like calling a spade a spade.
You should call it, so that we help these people. We help one another. Boys who are using one boxer for 2 weeks, Shindwe, talk to us. Let us listen to these things.
Yeah, so let me just call a spade. I'm sorry. So when the vagina washes itself from inside. Now the only discharge that comes outside is whatever we are supposed to wash out. And as soap has some different chemicals that we don't know of. Now, if the continuous use of soap in your vagina will definitely cause you infections that you may not be able to treat. Others are treated, others, they will always recur. So when you're going to shower as a lady, you're supposed to always use the plain water, just wash it off. And the places that you're supposed to wash, you are supposed to concentrate so much on your clitoris. That is the main important part, because if you don't, that is where these germs or these dirt things, they stock so much in the place. Another thing, after washing your pants, after washing it so well, you've rinsed it with good water, with very clean water, you're supposed to air your pants in the direct sunlight. Avoid airing your pants under the bed like we used to do in high school. We used to air them under the bed, because if you air them outside, you won't find it when it's in the evening. Yes, but it's always advised that you air it out in the direct sunlight, so that the sun can kill out the germs, the bacteria in it. Yeah. Another thing, there are ladies whom when they're washing their vagina, they tend to take the face towel, or rather whatever they use, and they start, they dip it inside the vagina, because I don't know what they're removing. In the name of, I want to be clean. That is nonsense. And that is, I always tell people that the vagina, it was meant for the penis and not any other thing inside there, because by the time you're putting your hand there are things you're interfering with.
It will react with. Yes. In fact, this thing has got a chemical on it. Maybe a spirit, so it will bring that infection pole.
Yeah, so the only place you're supposed to wash is the outer part of your vagina. That is the most important part. And a lady, when you're having discharge, it's always supposed to be normal, without any smell. Of course, ladies, naturally, they're always supposed to remain wet. Yeah. It's not a must. It's just about sex, when you want to have sex alone. Ladies, generally, they were meant that way. Their vagina is always supposed to remain wet. Now, if you find that your vagina is dry all the time, you might be having some kind of infections. You better see the doctor early. If your vagina is having some kind of foul smell and strange smell that you've never had, you should also go and see the doctor. You might be having some kind of infections. And when you're in your periods, we know there's always a time for changing the pads. We are not supposed to keep them like, there are ladies akieka pad asubuhi mpaka jioni, because I'm not having heavy flows, ama flows zangu ni less. When that place is stuffy so much, your blood has gone to the pad and it's soaked inside there, and you're still putting it on until jioni, you'll definitely have some itchy, you'll start feeling itchy and all that, because damu inachoma. So imagine, hii damu umekaa nao sana mpaka imeanza kukuchoma wewe. You'll start feeling you're itching. And when you're itching, you'll use your hands to, scrub yourself. That you'll also be inviting some kind of bacteria. And another point, and a strong point that I normally advise people not to do, and many people, the youth, they do it so much, despite being told it is wrong, despite being given the negative effects, they still continue doing it. When you're having sex, there are always so many ways of arousing a lady when you want to have sex with them. You don't have to dip your finger in the vagina in the name of finger fucking, rather, You there are so many ways of arousing a lady. Men, they normally get aroused by just what they see. But ladies, they will get aroused by the touch. So a lot of people, they have a perception that when they start touching the lady's vagina and all that and dipping their hands, a lady will get aroused. That is so wrong, because are you sure these guy's hands are clean? What is it that this guy touched before coming and touching? Because the vagina is a very delicate place. It doesn't need any strange things, any strange objects in it. So I'd still insist on this. When you want to arouse a lady, rather, ladies, at times we tend to be so much high that we can't even realize what's happening. But your seventh sense or your eighth sense should always tell you that whatever this guy is doing is wrong.
So a girl can be clean, or a lady may be clean with the help of a man, a boyfriend, a husband. Because this can lead to a serious infection in your body, and you will cannot have a child because of that infection. And infertility in the house is a problem again. Now, please, let's get this talk. I know you may feel shame, you may feel that we should not discuss about this, but these things happen. People suffer. We are here to tell you that. We are here to share your problem. Please talk to us. Put a comment there. Any question you want us, I will direct it to Juliet. You will know more. Please. And Juliet, now, final word. Anything you want to give your viewers?
I'd say that responsibility starts from you. Nobody will be responsible of your own health. Nobody will be responsible of your own cleanliness. It is you. Responsibility begins with you, rather. When you start, taking good care of yourself, it also gives another person responsibility to take care of you. If you love yourself, it also gives somebody a heart of loving you also. But if you just there like, me, I'm done, the other person, how do you expect the other person to start coming in? So responsibility comes up with you. And to parents who are outside there, involve your girls and your boys in the talks. It really means a lot than them getting information from outside. And at times when you're not able to tell them, or rather to put them down because maybe you feel like watanichukua aje, those are your kids after all. You have custody over them. You have every authority over them. If you can't, then maybe you can get a counselor that will always take them through, under your watch also, because I can't come to your house, talk to your kids when you're not there. How sure are you that I'm telling them, I'm giving them the right information? So after a counselor has done their work, then you will have to do a continuation. Remind them that, did you hear the counselor saying this and this? Now maybe if you had points, you can always top up. Yeah. So another thing, let us just be responsible, because now the rates at which girls are getting pregnant, school girls, is so wanting. So let us just, if you have a sister, if you have a friend, if you have a neighbor, and you're capable of talking to them, just do. Nobody will crucify you for that. Yeah, and thank you very much for inviting me over here.
And you are welcome more and more. We'll still need you.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm always here available for our youth, especially.
Yes, we are ready. GMTV 42 is also ready for you. Thank you so much, Juliet. That was a good one. I want to tell you that responsibilities start from you. You are the first person to start taking care of yourself before the third party. Please talk to your boys. The boys are suffering because they are not talking to us. They are not free to share so many things with us. Please talk to your child. Take them for a walk. Get their mind. And God will help your family. Thank you so much for being with us. I was your host, Paul OTIENO Leche. And this is GMTV 42 Kisumu. God bless you. Have a good night.